Good afternoon, and welcome to King's News with a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today is Tuesday, August 5th, 2025, and I'm Nifton to represent stories we follow this afternoon. The Economic Community of West African States commences 4-day drug abuse and mental health awareness campaign in Monrovia. Also, representative leadership will feature the Vice President Joseph Boakai to halt all operations of Liberia traffic management and initiate full investigation. Tells Liberia National Police to work with the Ministry of Transport for enforcement of motor vehicles and traffic laws. Opposition Congress for Democratic Change lawyers file writ of certiorari at the Supreme Court of Liberia to overturn Judge Smith's decision of the party's eviction from its party headquarters. Away from Liberia, Western leaders have condemned videos of emaciated Israeli hostages blamed by their captors in Gaza, with the Red Cross calling for access to all remaining in captivity. A white South African farm worker accused of killing two black women says he was forced to feed their bodies to pigs according to laws. These plus the news bulletin about international developments are all packaged, but we take a very short break. I'll be right back. At this juncture, we cross over to Veronica Moba with the news bulletin.
The Parliament of the Economic Community of West African States has begun a 4-day awareness campaign on drug abuse and mental health in Monrovia. This initiative, scheduled from August 4 to 8, follows a similar campaigns previously held in Conakry, Guinea, and Freetown, Sierra Leone in June of this year. Speaking in Monrovia Monday, Liberia head of delegation to ECOWAS, Senator Edwin Snow said the campaign has been initiated to provide awareness in the rise that's in drug abuse across the sub-region. He noted that ECOWAS Parliament intends to assess national strategies and gather insight from both government agencies and civil society organizations in finding amicable solutions to the proliferation of illegal substances across the region. According to him, the initiative aims to harmonize drug laws, enforce mechanisms, and policy frameworks across member states. Also speaking in an interview with reporters, a parliamentarian from Cape Verde, Orlando Pereira Diaz, said the aim is to alert stakeholders about the escalating challenges posed by substance abuse and mental health disorder, an increasingly pressing issue in West Africa. The Cape Verde parliamentarian said the mission anticipates extensive engagement with national stakeholders, including ministerial representatives, healthcare professionals, youth in recovery, civil society organizations, and local authorities, institutions. The leadership of the House of Representatives has endorsed recommendations from its Joint Committee on Investment in Concession and Transport requesting the executive to halt all operation of the Liberia traffic management. A communication issued by the House Monday noted that the decision is aimed at properly investigating and reviewing the LMTS concession agreement. The concession agreement between the Liberia Traffic Management and the government, following its approval by President Joseph Boakai, has sparked public concern, triggering a series of protests by employees of the Ministry of Transport and commercial drivers. According to the release, the House's decision was reached during its leadership meeting on Monday, August 4. According as member of the House of Representatives through the Communication Court on the Liberia National Police through the Office of the Police Inspector General to work with the Ministry of Transport to enforce all motor vehicle and traffic laws in accordance with the existing status. The House's leadership also noted that it has communicated with the executive, urging it to launch a full investigation in adherence to the Joint Committee report in the interest of public accountability, legal clarity, and the welfare of all Liberians. In another development, the House of Representative Committee on Concession on Monday held a special public hearing involving the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, the Ministry of Mines and Energy, and the Liberia Revenue Authority to examine the Hummingbird Resources Concession Agreement. The purpose of the hearing was to assess whether the company is in compliance with tax clearance requirement, a key factor that will inform committee's final position on the concession. After several hours of deliberation, members of the committee filed a motion for continuance, rescheduling the hearing for Friday, August 8 at 2 p.m. While reading the motion, Broom County District 7 representative for the family directed Hammerbird Resources to reappear before the Joint Committee on Concession for further questioning. Representative Formula also instructed the company to present its tax clearing certificates and other relevant supporting documents during the next hearing. Lawyers representing the Congress for Democratic Change have taken flight to the Supreme Court after the subordinate court refused to grant their petition for specific performance, which is seeking for sale of the late Martha's Temporary property to them in Congotown. The High Court over the weekend confirmed to our judicial correspondent that the former ruling party filed a petition before the presiding justice in Chambers for a rate of certiorari. CDC's lawyers' request to the High Court claimed that Judge Smith erred by denying the petition and strongly believed his decision would be overturned by the presiding justice in Chambers. On August 1, 2025, Judge Smith denied CDC's application on grounds that failed to show any legal proof of an existing contract between CDC and the administrator of the late Martha's Temporary property for the sale of the 4.23 acres of land. As such, the request warrant dismissal consistent with law. Our judicial correspondent said, although the High Court has since confirmed CDC's petition for specific performance, but the justice in Chambers is yet to act on the matter. The U.S. Embassy near Monrovia has officially announced the appointment of Joseph Sajoni as Charge Affairs, placing him at the helm of the U.S. diplomatic mission in Liberia. He previously served as Deputy Chief of Mission following his arrival in July 2025. Joseph Sajoni succeeds outgoing Charge Affairs Catherine Bozadgus. According to the U.S. Embassy, Zajonet assumes the post at a pivotal moment in U.S.-Liberia relations amid an increasing scrutiny over governance, transparency, and the direction of U.S. foreign policy in West Africa. The U.S. Embassy release added that prior to entering foreign service in 1998, Sajoni served with the Peace Corps, first as a volunteer in Mongolia and later as staff in Washington, D.C. and the Solomon Islands. National Transit Authority has announced an increment in transport fares for several areas connecting Monrovia and the Southern region, denouncing recently announced fares. According to a statement released by the NTA, commuters traveling from Grand Jida County to Monrovia will be charged 4,500 Liberian dollars instead of previous 3,000 Liberian dollars. The NTA also set the fare from Monrovia to other parts of the Southern region, including Maryland County, at 5,500 Liberian dollars. The National Transit Authority noted that its new fares would take effect beginning August 15, 2025. Authorities of the NTA noted that the hike in fare is a step forward to ensure a long-term sustainability of its operation and to maintain the quality of its service delivery across the nation. Commercial motorcyclists in Broom County District 5 have expressed frustration over what they describe as government's failure to improve road infrastructure in their area. The cyclists, most of whom claimed of supporting President Joseph Waka in 2023 due to his promise to rescue the citizens, said they feel betrayed by the government's alleged unfulfilled promises and a lack of tangible government. They also expressed disappointment with the administration's alleged failure to deliver on key campaign commitments, particularly the promise to deploy yellow machine to rehabilitate damaged roads across the county. And the University of Liberia campus-based Student Unification Party has issued a warning to the national legislature, threatening to stage a mass protest if the government renovates the Capitol building without first addressing the deteriorating condition at the university. Leaders of the student group have accused the government of gross neglect of the university campus, citing a long-standing lack of maintenance and critical infrastructure issues. That's it for the news bulletin. It's back to you, Newton, for continuation.
Veronica Moba with the news bulletin. The news bulletin is a regular feature here on King's News Broom. What if you just joining us? A reminder you listening to King's News Broom, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today is Tuesday, August 5th, 2025, and I'm Newton to representing. Stories we're following this afternoon. The Economic Community of West African States, that's ECOWAS, commences 4-day drug abuse and mental health awareness campaign in Monrovia. The House of Representatives leadership officially advised President Joseph Waka to hold all operations of Liberia traffic management and initiate full investigation, tells Liberia National Police to work with the Ministry of Transport for the enforcement of motor vehicles and traffic laws. Opposition Congress for Democratic Change lawyers filed writ of certiorari at the Supreme Court to overturn Judge George Smith's decision of the party's eviction from its headquarters. Away from Liberia, Western leaders have condemned videos of emaciated Israeli hostages filmed by their captors in Gaza, with the Red Cross calling for access to all remaining in captivity. A West African farm worker accused of killing two black women says he was forced to feed their bodies to pigs, according to lawyers. We'll take another short break and we'll come back. We bring you the voices of the newsmakers. On this one, the leadership of the House of Representatives has endorsed recommendations from its Joint Committee on Investment, Construction, and Transport, requesting the executive to halt all operations of the Liberia Traffic Management. A communication issued by the House Monday noted that the decision is aimed at properly investigating and reviewing the LTM's concession agreement. The concession agreement between the LTM management and the government following its approval by President Joseph Waka has sparked public concern, triggering a series of protests by employees of the Ministry of Transport and Commercial Drivers. According to the release, the House's decision was reached during its leadership meeting on Monday, August 4th. Members of the House of Representatives, through the communication, called on the Liberia National Police through the Office of the Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman to work with the Ministry of Transport to enforce all motor vehicle and traffic laws in accordance with existing statutes. In another development, the House of Representatives on concessions on Monday held a special public hearing involving the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, the Ministry of Mines and Energy, and the Liberia Revenue Authority to examine the Hummingbird Resources Concession Agreement. The purpose of the hearing was to assess whether the company is in compliance with tax clearance requirements, a key factor that would inform the committee's final position on the concession. After several hours of deliberation, members of the committee filed a motion for continuance, rescheduling the hearing for Friday, August 8th at 2 o'clock p.m. While reading the motion, Bond County District 7 Representative for the family directed Hummingbird Resources to reappear before the Joint Committee on Concessions for further questioning. Representative Family also instructed the company to present its tax clearance certificates and all relevant supporting documents during the next hearing.
Those in favor of the motion that Hummingbird appear on Friday, 2 o'clock, and come with all of the literature explanation how to do with tax obligations, community contributions, and accounts, including receipts of all financial payments to the area and a copy of their financial audited copy of the financial statement, audited copy of the financial statement for the past 3 years. Those in favor of the motion, put the right up or say yes.
Bond County Representative Fudi Famule, they're speaking. The Parliament of the Economic Community of West African States, ECO, has begun a 4-day awareness campaign on drug abuse and mental health in Monrovia. The initiative scheduled from August 4th to the 8th follows similar campaigns previously held in Conakry, Guinea, Freetown, Sierra Leone in June of this year. Speaking in Monrovia Monday, Liberia Head of Dedication to ECO, Senator Edwin Snow, said the campaign has been initiated to provide awareness and raise that's a rise in drug abuse across the sub-region. He noted that ECOWAS Parliament intends to access national strategies and gather insights from both government agencies and civil society organizations in finding amicable solutions for the proliferation of illegal substances across the region.
Our region, the issue of drugs is a major issue in our West African region. So the ECOWAS Parliament, during our last session, adopted its work program for 2026 to do a tour of the ECOWAS region to understand the different approaches with governments and civil society fight against drugs and substance abuse. So the ECOWAS Parliament in June visited Guinea Conakry, where they conducted a similar tour and study. In July, they were in Sierra Leone. They did similar down there in Liberia. The idea of this mission is that we want to synchronize a drug law for West Africa. When this mission is completed, they're going to do a presentation to the ECOWAS Parliament in our next session we held in Ghana. And the result from that will go to the authorities of head of states and government. That is all of the presidents. And then we'll see how best we can adapt a common front in the fight against drugs. The issue of drugs, very, very important in our region. It's affecting our young people and it's taking over our generation. And we feel that if nothing holistic is done about it, we're going to have a major crisis in the not too distant future. Yeah. So it's not about what the government is doing or not doing. And that's why I said it's not just unique to Liberia. The delegation visited Guinea Conakry, visited Sierra Leone already. They will be going to the Gambia, they will be going to Cape Verde, they will be going to Guinea-Bissau, Ghana, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, and in Nigeria everywhere. So I believe that the government, in its own weak way, is doing its best to fight drugs. The fact that the budgetary allotment for drugs has increased. The fact that when there was chaos at the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, the president took decisive step to first of all, he suspended those that were involved, and then followed by the dismissal. There's a new leadership there, which I think they're doing a good job so far. We have not heard of any disruption there. So I think the government, but this is a serious fight, and it has to be void of politics. We may have our political differences, we may have our political disagreement, but like I said, there is no household that will tell you that it's centered from the abuse or from drugs. So if we go and put our domestic politics into the fight against drugs, I think we'll be affecting our own generation. So again, I must be clear about this. I'm impressed with the government fight against drugs. Do we need to do more? Yes. Is the glass half empty? No, I think the glass is half full, and that is why the ECOWAS Parliament is here. That's why they're buttressing the government effort. It's not unique to Liberia, they're doing it in all of the West African countries.
Also speaking in an interview with reporters, a parliamentarian from Cape Verde, Orlando Pereira Diaz, said the aim is also to alert stakeholders about the escalating challenges posed by substance abuse and mental health disorders, an increasingly pressing issue in West Africa.
And we are here to do sensibilization, to sensitize and promote activities to fight psychoactive substance abuse. We want to fight the drugs problem in our region, to protect mental health for our young people, to give them opportunity of employment, education, to fight poverty, and to have a program, very strong program to fight drugs and to help our youth and our population to have a political. So is our objective. Again, we'll meet authorities. We was in the Minister of Foreign Affairs, after the Minister of Health, different organizations. We visit the center where the youth is affected, and now the reality, and do report to present Parliament, ECOWAS Parliament, and to present of the Conference of Heads of State and help all the country, ECOWAS country to fight drugs and to protect our young people.
A parliamentarian from Cape Verde, Orlando Pereira Diaz. Earlier, you heard the voice of Bomi County Senator Edwin Melvin Snow. The University of Liberia campus-based Student Unification Party has issued a warning to the national legislature threatening to stage a mass protest if the government renovate the Capitol building without first addressing the deteriorating conditions of the university. Leaders of the student group have accused the government of gross neglect of the university's campuses, citing a long-standing lack of maintenance and critical infrastructural issues. The students believe that the alleged neglect undermines the quality of education and shows a disregard for youth development. Speaking Monday at the university's Capitol Hill campus, SUB chairman for propaganda, Emmanuel Polit, condemned the legislature plan to prioritize the renovation of parts of the Capitol building that were damaged during a fire incident in 2024.
And the Student Unification Party is resolved prepared to engage the White House administration with everything we have in our revolutionary potential and capacity as an institution to make sure that the legislature will not be removed. This university, this building built in 1952. Since this building was built in 1952, it has not been renovated. It's not been renovated. This is just one of the least structure of the university. It is the power stage and form. This is one of the least. It will take you to the TS building. You see help. It will take you to the bathroom. It will take you to the library of the university, the house. The university has over 22,000 students. But the books in the library, if you take it, it reaches 20. All of the books in the university library were books that Joseph Tiki Robert gave to the University of Liberia. Joseph Tiki Robert will come back today, go to the university library, you'll see, but this was the book I left here. So in the coming days, we'll be at the ground of the lesson. Summer there. We were just summer there. We over thousands of students. We're summer there with the mothers. We're summer there with the constant and progressive classes of this delay and improvement in the structural environment of the team here. You brought to us one Western waste protocol, Lady Mapan. On the leader, she's coming to improve the university, academic outlook, research outlook, but still the same. Comrades, this is not day for intellectualism. in this day that the party strategic revolutionary actions. Reactionary Tennessee. Reactionary Tennessee. Reactionary Tennessee.
SUP Chairman for Propaganda, Emmanuel Pole, they're speaking. Maggie County District 3 Representative Elena Torre has called or challenge Liberians to put aside their political, ethnic, and religious differences and work collectively in moving the nation forward. The Maggie County lawmaker also pointed out the importance of public-private partnership in national development, adding that it is wise to unite and collaborate for the betterment of the country. Speaking during the dedication of Asilamita Liberia 28-kilometer stretch of rehabilitated road connecting Kakata to Habel Clubhouse, Representative Ray highlighted that the local community appreciation for Asilamita contributions to Liberia's growth, particularly in the area of infrastructure.
And indeed, today is a beautiful day, a wonderful day for all of us. Not just the people of District Number 3 or my Guinea, but the people of Liberia. It will interest you to know that this road that has been rehabilitated by Asilamita, it connects as far as the canal to Firestone, the airport, and then back to Monrovia. There's something that we have engaged them over the time. People thought it wasn't going to come to light because of the prolonged the time overview that we look at from the engaged as Asilamita. People were discouraged. They were on my goals many days, asking as to whether our request will be honored by Asilamita. And I said, yes, it will be honored because they gave me their words, they made a commitment. But it's just a matter of time. They got their own policy. But here we are today celebrating the good work of our partners. When we have companies in Liberia and they understand their contribution towards the growth, towards the success of the development of that country, we just need to give them thanks and continue to knock on their doors. So we are here today to say thanks from the depth of our hearts to Asilamita. To tell you that what you have done, we appreciate and we look forward to working with you. I continue to say that when it comes to the development of our country, let's put away our differences and work together. I want to say thanks to the President of the Republic of Liberia. Through his leadership, those that he appointed to work in this country, even before I saw the country resident engineer in person, I was always calling on him based on our own personal rehabilitation we have done. And the first day I will tell you this joke, when he saw me in person, he looked at me and his facial expression could tell you that no, but this small girl been calling me from most. So the moment I saw him, I'm like, okay, I small girl, but I want for us. And you are the county resident engineer, so I need to validate the work that needs to. And since then, we have been working collectively as per the Constitution. We are separate but coordinating branches of the. So it is just prudent, it is wise enough to work together collectively to reach. Now we have the mayor here, we have the superintendent from the executive branch, as well as county resident engineer. And you have me as your humble servant, the lawman, who were able to use my oversight, responsibility, and representation issues. I heard Marcus when he spoke and he asked his colleague whether the people are happy. We are grateful, we are happy, we appreciate the work.
She's Maggie County Representative Ellen Atorede speaking. What folks with the time have passed the hour. If you just joining us, a reminder listening to King's News Broom, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Stories we're following this afternoon. Economic Community of West African States commences 4-day drug abuse and mental health awareness campaign in Monrovia. House representatives leadership official the rise. President Joseph Walker to halt all operations of Liberia traffic management and initiate full investigation. Tells Liberia National Police to work with the Ministry of Transport for the enforcement of motor vehicles and traffic laws. Opposition Congress for Democratic Change lawyers filed writ of certiorari at the Supreme Court to overturn George Smith's decision of the party's eviction from its headquarters. Away from Liberia, Western leaders have condemned videos of emaciated Israeli hostages filmed by their captors in Gaza, with the Red Cross crossing or calling for access to all remaining in captivity. A West African farm worker accused of killing 2 black women says he was forced to feed their bodies to peace, according to lawyers. We'll take another break and we'll come back to bring you more voices on it. On this one, commercial motorcyclists in Broom County, District 5, have expressed frustration over what they describe as government's failure to improve road infrastructure in the area. The cyclists, most of whom claim to be supporter of President Joseph Boakai in the 2023 elections, says due to his promise to rescue the citizen, noted they feel betrayed by the government's alleged unfulfilled promises and lack of tangible development. They also expressed disappointment with the administration's alleged failure to deliver on key campaign components or commitments, particularly the promise to deploy yellow machines to rehabilitate damaged roads across the country.
Jefferson, one of the men I put there for Braga, for the way in which they probably doing things, now going down with the nation, down well with the nation. They probably need to do something for us. You're saying that you are sending for a yellow machine to come in like draw, but now we are not seeing a yellow machine. For now, in Bonkane, we're not having no yellow machine in Bonkane. Okay. So they probably need to think.
The road look to buy on their stuff anymore, no way to come outside. So I'm putting a rescue. My man is gonna help me. Hey, can they probably get into I think the second year now, we've been happening to us there.
On this road.
Yeah. We have been talking with like Johnny Clay and other people, they promised us that they were going to be in club, at least to put it with it for to help us. At least releasing your passport, send them no understand we can see them. I was taking the struggle because the area bad, how I was to be solving them all right. The basic commercial thing will come inside because the road bar. If somebody road bar, they figure road bar, no way. So all of people know it for that business to go on.
Some commercial motorcyclists in Broom County District 5 expressing some dissatisfaction about the Unity Party-led government. The National Rehabilitation for War and Drug-Affected Persons has disassociated itself from the planned peaceful protest against drug on August 7 in Monrovia. The executive director of the institution, retired Colonel Augustine Language, said his organization is withdrawing from the protest because some people are using the planned protest to score political gains. Speaking in an interview with the station, Colonel Language pointed out that those people, instead of staging protests, there is a need to encourage the national legislature to support institutions involved in the rehabilitation of drug-affected youths.
I'm going to disassociate myself from the protests. It's a peaceful assembly, we're not a protest. So I'm going to disassociate myself because it's political on a tune. And we don't want that. We don't want any political business in this drug business. We want the parents, the fathers, the mothers who are trying to get together. I ask all my supporters to remain home because the protest they're trying to go to is political on the tune. And we are not here for that. We're not here for drug business. Anybody having a political business, I'm or it. I'm not a political man. This drugs pandemic we have in the country, we feel that it's going different. And Liberians are dying, people are living in the grave, which of course to make sure that the drug business is not good, it's killing the children. And we try to put our foot down on it for peaceful gathering to go to the Senate. But we see that the drugs issue, people trying to political side it. It's not political only. If you want to do a political thing, you must bring food to the real for the children. You don't have to go in the street to go against government or to say you want to demonstrate politically. We don't want anybody with politics in this peaceful gallery to go to the Senate for the Senate. And we are also asking the Senate to prepare the good law.
He's retired Colonel Augustine Nangbe. They're speaking. The head of the Traditional Council of Broom County, Aaron Saki, is calling on local authorities and citizens of the county to help assist for the clearing and opening of the road leading from Nyafola to Bala near Nimba County. Head of the Broom Traditional Council noted that over the past time, many vehicles and motorbikes have been involved into accidents due to huge bushes which have created narrow path on the road.
So one of the best things, because if I call all the primary within this county to come to this occasion, people will be talking about transportation, people will be talking about this, people will be talking about that. But I desire I have meeting with some of my officials, some of my stakeholders that you can see reason to start brush the roof from here. Are we going to eat? I said, by the grace of God, we all will eat because the ants, God can feed the ants. So you now wait from 8 to 3:30, no food, no. They asked me, there will be a water. I said, once I tell you that God feed the ants, you need to eat. So God will feed us on that day. We will be starting Monday by 8 o'clock. In Jesus is picking up from Swakoko going to Banga. So
Okay.
once I start to get supply, I will disobey to all the paramount that live along the road. Places that you cross, Salala, Tolota. You got to know my own finance now for now. Do know my own finance.
Okay.
We'll be starting on Monday. So all those that came for the meeting and whosoever want to join, stop the accident. Because you now know when a car that parking the curb and the van that walk on the road near the wild grass. So once the road is clear, you know where it's hell you.
Okay. Um, have you reached out to or
Yeah, this is part of the agenda. We're not telling them that because we do it officially, communication we do it officially, but we want to start and help the while they are hearing me and help anybody that they can bring it on our day. From Mondays to Friday they can bring it.
okay.
He's the head of Broom County Traditional Council, Aaron Saki, there speaking. And for foreign developments, a West African farm worker accused of killing two black women says he was forced to feed their bodies to pigs, according to lawyers. Adrian DeWitt is one of three men facing murder charges after Maria Magato, 45, and Lucia Dovu, 34, were killed while allegedly looking for food on a farm near Polokwane in South Africa's Northern Limpopo province last year. Their bodies were then alleged to have been given to pigs in an apparent attempt to dispose of the evidence. Western leaders have condemned video of emaciated Israeli hostages flamed by their captors in Gaza, with the Red Cross calling for access to all remaining in captivity. UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy said images of hostages being paraded for propaganda are sickening and they must be released unconditionally. The calls come after the Palestinian Islamic Jihadi published video of Rome Braslavki Dean and carry on Thursday, and Hamas released footage of an emaciated Iyata David on Saturday. On that note, this is how I would like to go home on this edition of King's News Broom, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. But just before we go home this afternoon, let's remind you of stories we've been following. Economic Community of West African States commences 4-day drug abuse and mental health awareness campaign in Monrovia. The House of Representatives leadership official the rise. President Joseph Boakai to halt all operations of Liberia traffic management and initiate full investigation. Tells Liberia National Police to work with the Ministry of Transport for the enforcement of motor vehicles and traffic laws. Opposition Congress for Democratic Change lawyers filed a writ of certiorari at the Supreme Court to overturn Judge Smith's decision of the party's eviction from its headquarters. Away from Liberia, Western leaders have condemned video of emaciated Israeli hostages flamed by their captors in Gaza, with the Red Cross calling for access to all remaining in captivity. A West African farm worker accused of killing two black women says he was forced to feed their bodies to pigs, according to lawyers. These are stories we followed here at King's News Brown. Veronica Mova brought us the news bulletin, while Shemadia sat at controls and coordinated the sounds. I would like to say many thanks to all of our reporters, correspondents, news editors who helped in making this package. Our sources, my name is Newton Topa. I presented this edition of the program. Good afternoon.